Welcome back to Sky Sports News. We've got some really interesting transfer news to bring you now. And Chelsea are seriously considering making a move to sign Yoel Hato from Ajax this summer.
But listen up, Manchester United and Chelsea fans, what do you make of this? The two clubs are considering a swap deal involving Alejandro Garnacho and Christopher Nkunku.
According to Sky in Germany, there is no final decision, but it is something that has been discussed. Manchester United have also been in discussions with Napoli over a transfer for Garnacho. He's a player Chelsea have been watching closely. The winger's agents were in attendance at Stamford Bridge on Monday.
Well, as for Nkunku, before the talk of a possible swap with Garnacho, it's understood discussions had been held with intermediaries about a move to Old Trafford. Chelsea value Nkunku at around £70 million.
Welcome to the Premier League indeed. Sky, Michael, welcome along to the two of you. Michael, let's just start with Manchester United and interesting developments tonight on a Chelsea player.
Yeah, interesting indeed. This broke around 6 o'clock this evening, the last hour. Chelsea forward Christopher Nkunku is a potential target for Manchester United in this window. Now, talks are understood to have been held between intermediaries about a move. Now, they don't want to sell Nkunku, but it is thought they would be tempted to do business for £70 million. Now, he's a player United are considering, but are unlikely to meet that £70 million figure. We know Bayern Munich are interested, but that's a development tonight. Interest from Manchester United.
Sky, it's clear that Chelsea are looking to trim their squad, some would say yet again. From an agent's perspective, how does it work? Is that driven by the club, and what form does that take?
Well, first and foremost, if a player's not playing, then the player's not happy and the agent's not happy. But from Chelsea's perspective, if they are going to trim their squad, they're going to be on the phone to agents saying, look, you need to get your player out. Or sometimes a coach will have a conversation with a player and say, you're not in my plans. And that's normally a trigger to get the player to go to his agent and say, look, you know, you got to get me out of here. Notoriously difficult. So they've got a short period of time. But you would expect that Chelsea would have been having conversations with agents and players, and the coach would have maybe had a conversation with a player well paired to get going within these 4 weeks.
Is it a case that all of these agents are being called by the club individually, saying, listen, we've got player A, B, C, D and E, and we need them out of the club. What clubs can you bring to the table?
No, it comes in different forms. Part of it may be the club saying we need to balance the books, and so these players need to go. But it's normally not, you know, going to a player and just saying we don't want you. It's the coach saying you're not in our plans. It's the club maybe telling the coach that if you want to bring someone in, you've got to get players out. But the catalyst is normally, if a coach says you're not in my plans, it's very difficult for the player to stay there. And the hierarchy, the big decision makers, they normally don't tell the players. They're telling the agents or they're telling the coach. And then the agents are under massive pressure. I mean, agents can lose clients if they don't get them out, if they're not playing. But Chelsea pay very well. You know, they're a very financially strong club. So, you know, playing for Chelsea, big club, a lot of players don't want to leave. But if they need to be relevant, they need to go and play somewhere.
Just sticking with Chelsea, of course, there's a lot of a link between Manchester United and Chelsea with Alejandro Garnacho just now. The interest is there, no official offer.
But you have to say to them, they are fair to their kind of plan. They have a defined kind of players they want to get in. But when we now see that they are linked to Xavi Simons, I mean, that is Nkunku again, isn't it? I mean, yes, Nkunku had his injuries, but there is something about that. We were talking about how you spend your money. Go for the big ones, I understand. Go for the biggest talents, yes, I understand. But if you take these players, I mean, Joao Felix is the best example, isn't he? You just get a feeling, when did he last have 5-6 games where he played well? He's one of those floaters. He's just floating around between the big clubs, and now we end up in the Saudis. So Chelsea, they are truthful to their strategy, but I'm not sure that they have to take all the numbers they do. I mean, go for the big ones, but I can't understand why they have to go for so many of them.
You've seen Simons play more than us, Jan. How would you describe him? How would he fit in the Premier League? He's only 22.
Yeah, yes, he is. And I mean, it's unfair. I mean, in our time, we need him to be good straight away. Back in the days, this was a young kid who will take his time and improve to be a good player. No, you're going to be a finished article. I'm not sure about Simons, that he will take the next step. How will he do Chelsea better? You just get a feeling that they have that kind of personality, and I use the phrase personality for a reason. There are so many players on that personal level. He's a brilliant player, but is he able to take the next